All right, good afternoon, chat. Hope we're all doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Welcome indeed. Let me just turn the music down. There we go. All right, hope we're all doing well today. Let me just get this. There we go. Beautiful. All right then. So welcome to the stream. Hope we're all doing well today. Hope we're all having a fantastic weekend. Also, welcome to the chat. Good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well indeed. At the gym at the moment, no worries at all. Gotta give big respect for that dedication. Tuning in while you're at the gym. I love to see it. Thanks for tuning in and good to see you again. Mariner, good to see you as always, brother. Hope you're doing well. Just on my way home, may join you on VATSIM. Yeah, by all means, feel free to. I am on VATSIM today. I'm going to turn multiplayer on as well because it is quite quiet on VATSIM at this moment in time in this area of the world. So I think I'm going to actually go ahead and put multiplayer on today for a change. So if anyone wants to join along on multiplayer, by all means, more than welcome to. We are flying out of Wellington and we're going to be flying across to Queenztown. One of my sort of favourite destinations to land at is Wellington. Sorry, is Queenztown. And this should be a really, really nice test for the Fenix, actually, because on stream we've not actually flown an approach like this before. And the approach we're going to be doing into Queenztown is the RNP approach. We're going to do the RNP Yankee approach into Queenztown, and there are a few sort of what so-called radius to fix legs on that approach, which a lot of aircraft struggle to fly, and in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's not really something that has been super well done so far. And so this should be quite a good test for the Fenix, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a try. We've obviously flown a few different approaches into Queenztown on the stream in the past, and I have done a bit of reading up actually on the approaches into Queenztown, because previously we've done these sort of circling approaches, which are great fun, but they're not actually often flown into Queenztown from what I'm gathering. And I've done a little bit of reading, and I think Navigraph has sort of led me astray a little bit with regards to what approach to fly. So we're going to cover that once we get to the briefing anyway, and we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. But just right now, I'm actually just working out how to turn off the auto-saving on Volanta, because it seems like that was what was causing some freezing in the last stream. And let's see, there we go, auto-save disabled. There we go. Yeah, so that was what was causing some freezing in the last stream. Thank you very much to Schutz for letting me know about that issue on Volanta there. So I've got that turned off now. Great stuff. All right. Ulfdog, I might miss you then, I'm afraid, dude. I might miss you, I'm afraid. This is only quite a short flight, and I'm not going to be doing the return leg today. But yeah, maybe we'll catch you another time. Hopefully you can obviously watch the stream as well. Lander Lakes, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, brother. Welcome indeed. Glad to have you again. All right, so without further ado, let's have a look in the simulator then. Let's just put this over here, and just for now we'll hide the chat there. And yeah, so this is Wellington by Flightbeam. It's the first time I'm actually seeing it. I've just purchased it just before this stream today, so this is going to be the first time I'm having a look at it. Hang on, what's happened to the music here? Okay, we're good. Okay, yeah, so this is Flightbeam Wellington, and from what I've seen so far, this is probably one of the best sceneries for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So let's just have a very, very quick look around. The departure time is about 1:15, so in about half an hour's time, so I don't want to spend forever doing this, but let's just go ahead and have a quick look around. You can hear the whirring there of the engines. There is quite a bit of wind here in Wellington at the moment. So, yeah, obviously the engines are just spinning away on the road. But as you can see, just look at this terminal, look at the detail. It's just absolutely brilliant. These textures, I don't think they've loaded in properly yet for some reason. Let's just do a bit of this and a bit of this. And then a bit of this. Okay. I'm sure they were a bit crisper when I looked at them before, but anyway. We'll carry on looking around, but like I say, as you can see, looking at the terminal area, just the detail is just absolutely impeccable. The resolution of all these textures is just absolutely insane. The modeling is just brilliant. Absolutely love it. We've got a VDGS. I don't think that actually works just yet in this scenery, but obviously it does work in some of the other Flightbeam sceneries. There is an interior as well. Very, very dark. Seems to be a bit of a theme on the Flightbeam sceneries. The interior of the terminals is very, very dark, but nevertheless, I'm not overly concerned about that. You can see the detailing on the roof here as well. The textures just look absolutely brilliant. Everything about it is just absolutely impeccable. Really can't stress that enough. And one thing I've noticed that they've done, and I've not seen on any of the sceneries as well, is this kind of sort of dampness on the taxiways here. You can see under different sort of lighting conditions and angle of the camera, you can see there's some sort of like dampness here on the ground, which is pretty nicely done, I will say. It does make it look very, very realistic. The ground textures, as always, just absolutely unbelievable. Really, really nicely done. And something, again, that I've not seen on other airports yet in Microsoft Flight Simulator is these stop bar lights in the ground here. You can see they're animated. I've not seen that at all in Microsoft Flight Simulator yet, so this will be the first scenery I've seen this with. And yeah, let's take a quick whiz over to the threshold of the runway, because the detailing there is just really, really good as well. You can see the cargo apron down here looking very, very cool as well. But look at the runway textures as well. Absolutely brilliant. And then coming down here, look at this. This is just great. These rocks just look brilliant. And he's even gone in and put the graffiti on this wall down here, which is just brilliant. Real nice attention to detail, as always with Flightbeam. Let's take a quick whiz over to the international terminal real quick. This is the domestic terminal we're currently sat at here. As you can see, we've got a few statics there. Another static here. You can see we've got some airport-specific sort of decals on the front there, and a pretty extensive interior in here as well, which is very nicely done, I will say. We've even got this hanging eagle, which I guess is quite a feature at the real airports. And as you can see, everything just looks so good. It's just... You guys know I love Flightbeam. And then over here, the international terminal, we've got this very interesting sort of architectural piece, which has been very nicely modelled, I think. Really, really nicely done. This is another player on VATSIM in their 787. Looking very nice. And then over onto the land side, you can see there's a few buildings done here. Very interesting looking car park. And you can see this is actually a mesh, so you can actually see through into there, which is very nicely done once again. In the landside area, just a little bit less detailed, but nevertheless still very, very good. And, you know, how often do you come around here anyway? Even got a Burger King and a petrol station, few signs on the road there as well. I'm just intrigued. Let's have a look at the other runway threshold here. I'm just intrigued to see if there's anything down here as well. Okay. Yeah, just some nice terraforming, really. Very, very nicely done. And some of this really, really nice sort of rock work as well here. Absolutely fantastic scenery. I really can't stress it enough. Oh, it looks like we've even got some more stuff over here as well. Look at that. Just brilliant. I didn't even know that existed there. I think I saw on one of the reviews for this, he did a bit of terraforming on the coast here as well to make it look a bit more like the real place. And added some trees and things in the car parks up here as well. You can see these trees are not native Microsoft Flight Simulator trees. These look like sort of 2D trees, but nevertheless, still a very nice effect. But there we go. That's... oh, of course, the jetway. Please, Microsoft. Please. Let's just go here and just toggle the jetway real quick. And we need to do our thing. Let's just move away from the aircraft real quick, and then we're going to go back there, and then hopefully the jetway is fixed. Yep, that looks like it's going to work. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Okay, love to see it. Right then. So I'll turn multiplayer on in a sec. So if you guys, anyone wants to join me, you're more than welcome to. Right. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead. Let's turn multiplayer on. So on multiplayer, we're going to be on the North Europe server. And we're at Wellington, NZWN. And I'm actually going to set the time to a little bit earlier in the morning here. Just while we get ready. Okay. Great stuff. Look at that terminal building, though, at night. That looks pretty incredible now, doesn't it? Looking through the windows here at the back. Very, very nice indeed. And the night lighting just overall absolutely stunning, I do have to say. Look at that behind us. Very, very nice indeed. Okay then, chat. Let us get ready. So, we've already had... 1 second. Right, so we've already had our... We've already had the captain on board, who is a pilot monitoring for today's flight. He's already been on board and set up the a few bits on the aircraft here. He's already done all of the tests and got us connected to ground power and aligned our ADIRs. So we are good there. All we need to do is really just put in the information into the MCDU and do the briefing, and then we're pretty much good to go. But before we go any further, let's go ahead and just brief the OFP. We'll just run down that very quickly. So today we're going to be New Zealand 609. That's obviously Air New Zealand. The date is the 12th of June. We're going to go from Wellington to Queenztown. Type is an A320 and the tail number Zulu Kilo Oscar Juliet Mike. This is a livery I got from flightsim.to just earlier on today. It does actually have a custom cabin as well, which is pretty nice looking at, if I do say so myself. What we'll do, though, is... Oh, you guys didn't actually see that, did you? Sorry about that. Yeah, so... does have a custom cabin as well, which is pretty nice looking, I will say. Nice purple lighting and the black seats. Very good. However, what we're going to do is, before we continue on, actually, I'm going to actually start the boarding on the flight, because we don't have too long till our departure. So let's just start this going before we go any further. So 16:50. Oh, I meant to put 17:15 Zulu.
Traffic off. Air New Zealand 2099-7879 is pushing back from
I meant to put 17:15 for this flight on Zulu time. Wait, hang on. The current Zulu time is 10 to 4. Why is this saying I'm delayed? Eh? This is Zulu time. Huh? Let's just re-import and see what it does. Okay, I can't work that out. Right. Oh, I see. It's because I've changed the time in the simulator, isn't it? That's why. All right. Okay. That makes a bit more sense. Let's go like this then. I'm just going to try and sync the minutes up so it's a little bit more in line. And then we'll go... 17:15. Oops, no, have I read that wrong? Yeah, 19:15, sorry. There we go, that makes a bit more sense. Okay, cool, great stuff. So let's go ahead and just start the boarding whilst we get underway here. So we'll start the boarding. We are going to be late. God damn it, 27 minutes. God damn, we've got a full aircraft here. 162 passengers. Right, anyway, let's carry on then with the briefing. So, tail number, Zulu Kilo Oscar Juliet Mike, release 1525, 12th of June 2022. Target departure time is 16:15 current Zulu time, not the in-sim Zulu time, and we're going to expect to arrive at Queenztown at 17:19 Zulu, so about 20 past 5 there. Cost index of 5 today, and a distance over the ground of 369 miles. Slight headwind component of 11 knots. Takeoff weight is expected to be 65.4 tons, and the landing weight 62.8 tons with a zero fuel weight of 59.3. That is our expected load for today. Alternate is Christchurch, and we're going to be climbing up to flight level 360 for our cruise today. Block fuel is 6,255 kilos. Then our routing is going to take us off runway 34 here at Wellington on the Polax 5 Romeo departure. And then across, we're not using a standard routing today. Oops. We're not using a standard routing today. This is just from SimBrief. However, there are some standard clearances from Wellington. If you look at the charts here, there are some standard route clearances. As you can see, Queenztown here has this standard clearance, which we're not doing, but that's not a big issue. It's just I completely forgot to actually input that on SimBrief, so we'll do it as SimBrief has given me it today. So that's no big deal. We're going to come in the LRUV 4 Bravo, and currently runway 23 is expected at Queenztown. Now, obviously in New Zealand, it is currently night time in Queenztown, and they do have limited to no operation at night in Queenztown due to the high terrain. So it's difficult to get a current METAR, but if you use the VATSIM Queenztown or the VATSIM New Zealand website, it does actually give a METAR here. So we're going to use that for our calculations. So we're expecting runway 23. We've got a load of 162 passengers and 2.5 tons of cargo. So it's a pretty full aircraft today. And then coming further down here, looking at the weather. No AirMets in place. We do have some SIGMETs in place. And let's just have a look here. So right. Okay, so quite a few SIGMETs in place for severe ice and severe turbulence forecast. We'll have a look at the significant weather charts as well in combination with this as we get a little bit further down the briefing here. No tropical cyclone SIGMETs, no volcanic ash SIGMETs, and the weather at Wellington at 1500 Zulu is 330 at 14 knots, gusting 25 knots. So quite windy here at Wellington, varying between 300 and 010 degrees. Visibility of over 10 kilometers and few clouds at 6,000, scattered at 7,000, temperature of 13, and a dew point of 04. QNH is 9 at 82. And we've got a temporary condition of visibility at 6,000 meters and showers of rain. Forecast is for some increased winds and light showers of rain and a slightly lower cloud base. And that is going to be relevant for us for this flight. Right, and then looking at Queenztown weather, this is the 1700 Zulu METAR. Now, that was done on the 21st, so we can more or less disregard that because that's totally out of date, so we're going to ignore that one completely. But you can see the forecast here is for winds at 350 at 10 knots with visibility over 10 kilometers, light rain and scattered clouds at 2,500 and broken clouds at 3,500, so fairly good conditions for landing there into Queenztown, so we're not going to have any issues with visibility, hopefully, by the looks of things. Weather at Christchurch, which is our alternate for today. Lighter winds and fairly favourable conditions. Nothing too much to worry about there. Probably the main factor is the temperature, 5 degrees, and the dew point at 2 degrees as well. So, obviously, icing conditions potentially, along with the dew point getting in quite close to the temperature, so potential chance for some fog there, maybe. So that is the weather. Let's have a quick look at the weather charts as well. So these should help clear up the SIGMETs a little bit easier for us. This is the routing today. Just going to go along the east coast of the Southern Island, all the way down across overhead Christchurch, and then down to the southwest to Queenztown. And then, as you can see here, we've got some significant weather en route today. So we've got quite a few things to look at here. So let's just have a look. All right, so just to the west side of the Southern Island here, we've got this area. So we've got isolated embedded CBs, so cumulonimbus clouds. Below flight levels 250 or 250, which is the lowest altitude this chart covers, all the way up to flight levels 310. We also have a 1 here and an arrow pointing inwards. This is alluding to moderate icing in the area as well, below flight levels 250 and up to flight levels 400. So icing and CBs basically within this area. And obviously we've got cloud in this area as well, so we've got embedded CBs. Now then, this area here is a little bit unclear to me as to what it's marking out there, to be quite honest. I assume it's referring to this area here. And not this area. Mainly because we've got this marking here, 260, and then L with this sort of upside down triangle. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm not 100% sure what that one actually stands for. I've never seen that one before. So let's see if we can look that up real quick. So Here we go. Okay, so it's indicating the tropopause low height. So the tropopause is a bit lower than normal. So if we come back here, the tropopause is flight level 260, which is very low, in fact, for the tropopause. The tropopause is usually way up above flight level 400. So what that means is above that flight level, the temperature is not only actually, the temperature is actually going to start increasing past that point over flight level 260. So probably expect slightly higher temperatures on the way out here. On the way to Queenztown, up at the higher flight levels. And also we can expect the conditions to be pretty stable as well. So from flight levels 260 and above, that means the tropopause, sorry, the tropopause is indicating that the weather is not really going to change too much above that level, but the temperature will. So winds are westerly as well. So we can expect possibly this area of weather maybe to move across to our flight path area. So we've got to be aware of that one as well. And yeah, as you can see, we've got a westerly wind all the way across there. Now then, if we go back to our OFP, let's see if the tropopause, the lower tropopause there is actually reflected in our flight plan here. So looking at this column here, for the tropopause, you can see tropopause is flight levels 278 all the way down here. Flight levels 255 after our top of climb. So very, very low down the tropopause today. So we'll have to bear that in mind. We'll pay attention to the temperature as we climb and go through our flight plan here. We can probably expect yeah, like I say, it's slightly higher temperature. You can see outside air temperature 5 degrees positive. Sorry, this is ground level. Let me carry on down. So top of climb, the temperature -44. So yeah, that is a little bit warmer than normal, albeit still very, very cold. Albeit very cold indeed. Right, okay, so let's carry on then with the setup. We'll do the briefing of the charts once we get a little bit closer to being ready here. And I will actually start up self-loading cargo as well. We'll get that on the go as well. So let's just set that up very quickly. We are going to be late at departing here, but let's just roll with it. Don't know if we have an Air New Zealand sound pack. We don't, so let's start that. And we'll stick that over on my other screen over here. Right. Okay, so let's come back into the flight deck and carry on getting things set up then. So this shouldn't really take too long to get set up. It's probably going to be the passengers more than anything that we're going to be waiting on. The refueling is completed, so we'll go ahead and actually turn the seatbelt signs on. Just turn the music down a bit as well for the setup. FSRealistic, I've forgotten to start that one up as well. FSRealistic connected. There we go. Lovely stuff. Right. Okie doke. So, first of all, we do have a company message, so I'm actually just going to go and check that here. We'll do it on this side. We've got 4 load sheets for some reason. Let's go to the top one. This is a preliminary load sheet. We'll accept that. Right, fine. And then we'll come back here, flight init, and we'll init that information from SimBrief. And then what we'll do is we'll check the database is active and current, which it is just about. We'll go to our init A and we should be able to now bring in our information. So we've got from Wellington to Queenztown, alternate of Christchurch. Flight number is going to be Air New Zealand 609. And the cost index is going to be 5. Cruising flight level is going to be 360. And the temperature up there is going to be minus In fact, let's put 360 in and see what it thinks the temperature is going to be. So it thinks the temperature is going to be minus 51 up there, but in fact that is incorrect. Today it's going to be minus 44. So we'll adjust that, and it's actually detected the tropopause relatively well, actually. I didn't realize that it did that. I must have brought that in from SimBrief, I guess. So we're going to leave that as is. That's all looking good there. And then the temperature on the ground here is 11 degrees. Right. Okay, so let's go flight plan. And we're going to be departing off runway 32 here at... 34 at Wellington. And it's going to be the Polar 5 Romeo departure. And we're going to use the Sabda transition. So that's that. We'll insert that. And that's all looking good. And into Queenztown, we can expect the runway 23. Now then, let's see what we've got. Arnav Yankee 23 is what we're looking for. I think we might have to use the Arnav Zulu 23 because I don't think Arnav Yankee 23 is actually in... Oh, it is there. Right, so we'll actually check that before we go any further, but we've got Elro 4B, 4 Bravo as the arrival there. So let's just check the approach we've chosen actually matches what we want. Because it is quite a complex approach. I do want to make sure this is incorrectly. So at kill is going to be our initial approach fix, and then we've got at VUB. That's incorrect, so I may have chosen the wrong one there. Let me just double check. Yeah, Eggfox direct to at kill. That's not... Sorry. At kill direct to at VUB. That is not correct. So I think what we'll have to do is... This is what was misleading me with regards to the Navigraph nav data previously, what I was talking about. So we'll come back to our arrival. And we're going to go ahead and choose the Arnav Zulu 23. Arnav Zulu 23. And Elro 4 Bravo is the correct one. Okay, so at kill, at VUP. Okay, that's the same thing, so that's not making too much sense either. There should be some fixes in between here, but it doesn't seem to be showing them there. So let's just have a quick look. Do we need to set via, approach via at kill? There we go, that's fixed it. So that's got those fixes in there as well. So that's great stuff. Now then, does that mean we can choose the Arnav Yankee then? So let's go ahead and do that. So if we're going to do it, let's do it properly. So Arnav Yankee 23 via at kill. Then we'll come back here. Let's just double check it one more time. So we've got at kill. It will become clear why I am double checking this so much soon, chat. So at kill 780, 775, 770 at VUP. Then you can see we've got these arcs here, these radius to fixed legs. So 760, 755 is correct. And then we should have Larav. And then a left turn again. QN 745, 741, 735, 741, 735, 725. QN7, oh, there should be a QN731 in there as well. But it goes to 725, and it's got the 3.2 degree descent, which is correct. So I think we can excuse that one missing fix there. Interesting why the QN731 is not on there. Anyway, let's have a look at how that looks on the ND. You can see you've got a very interesting looking path here. So if we come back all the way to Atkill, you can see from Atkill, we're going to come in, take a little curvy turn to the left, and then a nice curvy turn to the right, and then another left turn onto final. From Larav, this is the final approach fix. So from that point, we're going to be flying in final app mode. So the aircraft's actually going to give us vertical and lateral guidance around this turn on final app mode, and then down onto the runway. So that will do it for me, I think. I'm happy with that. We'll check the altitudes through and things like that once we get underway. I don't want to spend too much time fussing over this now. So the departure we're going to fly is an RNP departure, in fact. So we're not actually going to mess with anything in here. For a secondary, we'll just put a return to Wellington. And we'll set up the ILS for runway 34. And that's all we're going to do there. We'll leave that as it is. Let's see how we're doing with the boarding. Still ongoing. So let's go ahead and just grab our figures here from the load sheets. So 31.2 and oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong figures, aren't I? I wanted 59.3 and 31.2. I love how much detail it has on here. It's just crazy. Right, so let's stick that in there, and then the fuel is 6.2 tons. And for the wind component, we're going to have -11. Alternate fuel, we are going to put down Kaya, thank you very much for the subscription. I don't know why the alert didn't go off there. That was very strange. There we go. Beautiful. Didn't realize I needed to have the browser tab open for that to work. Nevertheless, thank you very much for the sub, Kaya. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll just finish doing the MCDU, and then I'm going to catch up with the chat messages, guys. So just bear with me. So, alternate fuel we want as 1.7 tons. And everything else looks correct. So we've got 0.4 extra. I'm not sure if we even need to put a route reserve in there. Well, it doesn't let me clear it out actually, so there we go. That's fine. So we've got alternate fuel, we've got extra fuel. Right, okay, great stuff. That's all hunky-dory. Let's do our performance calculation for the takeoff. We'll sync the preliminary load sheet here. We're going to use runway 34. And we are going to have packs on. Right, let's sync the weather and calculate. Oh, wow. Look at the difference in the V1 and the VR speed there. That's a little bit unusual. 26 and 40, flaps 1 takeoff with no flex temperature. So it's asking us to do a toga takeoff this time. Right. Flaps 1, and it's going to be... Oh, the aircraft's just finished being loaded there. And down 0.2. So no flex, toga takeoff. That's all looking good. Engine out and thrust reduction acceleration all looks good. Right. How are we looking? What is the current time here, actually? 7:15 AM. Can you not show local time on this clock? Fair enough, you cannot. Well, it does say UTC there, so it would be a bit misleading if you could. Right. Okay, I think we're just about there then, chat. I think we're just about there. Now then, we can actually cheat and sync the final load sheet here and just make sure the takeoff perf doesn't change. 2640, flaps 1. 2640, flaps 1, that's all fine. Great stuff. We don't have a new load sheet yet. However, what I'm going to do, let me just open all of these and just make sure we've not got the company message appeared there. Right, okay, so let's go ahead. We'll start the APU now. And we'll go ahead and do a briefing. Right then, chat. So, let's have a look at our departure here from Wellington, and then I promise I will catch up with the chat messages. Right, okay, so we're here at Wellington. Oops, wrong keybind. So here at Wellington, New Zealand, this is the 10-9. ICAO is November, Zulu Whiskey November, airport elevation 41 feet. Now we've got a lot of advisories on here, so I'm just going to give them a quick scan. So we've got some warnings here about various ships in the harbour with high masts. Now that's not going to affect us obviously because we don't really have any ships here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We've got code C, D, and E aircraft restrictions that could affect us. But it just seems to be an advisory for the most part. Code D and E aircraft is not us for various different taxiways. So we can take any taxiway we want. Yellow painted turning circle has been installed at the end of each runway. Okay, fine. General aviation aircraft, not relevant. And then we've got high terrain surrounding airport, possible wind shear approach and departure. Bird hazard, all occurrences to be reported to the tower. Helicopter operations are restricted to the western apron. So that's that. We're here at the Eastern Apron, and we're currently at the domestic terminal. Let's have a quick look at the parking stands here. We're currently at stand... what stand are we actually at? We're at stand 16, which is this one here. So, we're taking off runway 34, so we can expect to... We'll push back, and let's see what it says on here. Not much. Okay, so we'll push back. We'll probably push back facing to the south, and then we'll taxi to the right here. Is this a taxiway here, Quebec? Oh, it looks like it is, yeah. Okay. The scaling on this is a little bit misleading. So we'll push back, facing to the west. We'll taxi Quebec, and then down Bravo. We'll come Bravo 5. And then from Bravo 5, we'll go all the way Alpha, all the way to the end of the holding point for runway 34. Sorry, I'm getting this the wrong way around. That's runway 16. I'm silly. Right, so we'll push back the same way. We'll taxi Quebec. Now, there are some arrows on here pointing which way you're supposed to travel on these taxiways. So let's just double check this. Ground movement information 10-9 Charlie. Right. Okie dokie. Do. Right. So it's interesting because the arrows on this one are actually different to on this one, which is a little bit misleading, but maybe I'm missing a point. But nevertheless, what we're going to do is we'll push back facing to the west here. We'll come Bravo and then take a left onto Bravo. We'll continue all the way down Bravo 10, and then down Alpha. We'll follow Alpha all the way down from Bravo 10 to Alpha 11 and take off on runway 34. The departure itself is going to be on the sheet 10-3 Hotel. This is an Arnav SID. And we're going to be flying the Polax 5 Romeo departure. This is an RNP departure, which is required navigational performance. So we've got RNP 0.2 required to Polax, and this is an RNAV 1 departure. Use Wellington QNH only, contact Wellington approach, not relevant, and approved operators to request Polax 5 Romeo prior to clearance delivery. Transition altitude 13,000 feet here at Wellington, so very, very high up actually. This is for operators with special special design criteria approval only, so we are going to assume we've got that. And the departure itself is going to take us out runway track for 3 miles to Laxiv, minimum altitude 1,100, then same track for 5 miles out to Polax. 3,000 feet is the minimum altitude at Polax. We're then going to take a left turn here. Max 250 knots until turn complete. So this is quite an interesting departure because we've got what looks like some kind of radius to fixed turn here as well. So that should be quite an interesting one to see how the aircraft copes with that. Then we're going to come out to Larox, take a slight right turn to the 167 track for 8 miles out to Jonah. And then from Jonah, we're going to head out to Sabda on the 185 track for 20 miles. So that is the departure. We do have some Some instructions here just written, but we've just been through that really. Oceanic transitions is not relevant for us. So that is a departure. Let's get going, I think. Right. So we don't actually have an initial climb clearance here. Looking at the charts. So I'm just going to set 10,000. We'll set 10,000, and I do just want to make sure that the departure is actually coded incorrectly here as well. So I'm going to go back to plan mode, and you can see here we've got that nice left turn there, which is good stuff. You can also see here we've got a top of climb marker here, and we've got this magenta dot. So if I actually move the altitude here, that top of climb marker is going to move away. So this is basically when the aircraft thinks we're going to reach 10,000 feet. And it also indicates when we're going to switch from below 10,000 feet speed. So this is actually a speed change point. So it's going to indicate when we're going to accelerate past 250 knots. Now, if you remember from the charts, it did say 250 knots in this turn until the turn is complete. So basically here. So we could actually safely just set our cruising flight level here. Because, again, there's no initial climb clearance, there's no controllers online. So let's just set our cruising altitude at flight level 360. And we can safely assume that the aircraft is going to be 250 knots all the way through this turn there. So we're going to be complying with that restriction. Apparently we still have 10 passengers at the gates. That's a problem. Let's just... Let's just sort this real quick because obviously the Fenix tablet's a little bit out of sync with self-loading cargo. It's raining. Jetway's connecting once again. So let's get those 10 passengers on board now. I'm just going to instant board them because of the simisms. We'll toggle the jetway again. Hopefully that should be now departing. There it is. Okay. Great stuff. Okie dokie. So, let's just come down here. We do have a company message. So, we've got the latest load sheet. Zero fuel weight 59.3 and 31.3 on the center of gravity. So, very little change there. Let's just put in 31.3 there. And that's everything all in on the final load sheets. Great. Okie dokie. So, what we'll probably do is, because we've been sat here quite a while, let's just request the latest weather here because the QNH might have changed. Let's just request that real quick. Wait for that to come through. It'll only take a second. QNH 981, which is still set. So that is all good. Right. Okie dokie. We are ready for pushback then. Let's just import our route into Navigraph here. And we'll bring up the 10.9. Which is there. And then we'll also get the departure charts, which is the Polax 5 Romeo. Okie dokie. Oh, where's the zoom controls gone? There we go. Right. Okie dokie. Is the sun going to come up? Let's see. I think the sun should come up in about 20 minutes. Right. Okay, so let's do some checklists. So cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity is 6.2 tons. Seatbelt signs are on. Days are in nav. Bar RF is 9 at 81. set on both sides and on the standby here. We'll do the before start checklist as well. So parking brake is currently set. Takeoff speeds and thrust 2640 and 40. Thrust setting is going to be toga for takeoff. Windows are closed. Let's make sure the cockpit door is closed as well, which it is. And we'll go ahead and turn the beacon light on now as well. We also have the APU avail. It's definitely warmed up now, so we'll go ahead and turn the APU bleed on now. We'll get rid of the external power, and we'll just come back to the Fenix app here and get the ground tug connected. It does say no tug available, but that's because I've been messing around with the config files. So let's just go ahead. We'll release the parking brake and we'll press start. Or back even. There we go. Right. Okay, so cleared to start the engines. Engine mode selected to ignition starts. And we'll go for a start on engine 2. And we'll give ourselves a nice left turn here. Are we going to make this turn? I think we should be okay, actually. I think what I might do is just get him to stop, more or less. Now? There we go. Okay. Parking brake is set. Great stuff. Engine 2 is avail. Reset the chrono. Oh, I didn't start it anyway, did I? Start the chrono again, and engine 1 starts. All right. Love Extends, thank you very much for the subscription on YouTube. Much appreciated. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Right, okay. Engine 1 is avail. Engine mode selected back to norm. Right, we'll go ahead and turn the APU bleed off and the APU master. That's all good. I'm going to go ahead and just let's set the flaps to 1. Andy! There's a notification going off here. There we go. Lovely stuff. Andy, thank you very much for becoming a gold member. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous of you. Enjoy your new channel badge and the custom emotes in the chat. Thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate that, man. Righto. Okay, so after start checklist. Anti-ice is not required. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim we haven't set yet. We'll do that now. That should do it. Pitch trim is 29.6% and the rudder trim is neutral. After start checklist complete. Great stuff. Alright then, chats, let's go ahead and turn on our taxi lights, something I frequently forget to do. But there we go. We'll put the strobe light in auto, just in case I do forget that one. Right then, chat. Wellington traffic, New Zealand 609 is taxiing to runway 34 via Quebec, Bravo, and Alpha. Wellington traffic. Right then, chat. Look at this rain. This is coming down. Maybe we get the wipers on. First time I've actually used them in the Phoenix, and it does kind of clear the water off as well, which is quite cool to see. Right then, chat. So, very, very, very rainy here at Queenztown. Sorry, Wellington. I'm going to go ahead and just turn the dome light off. And turn these floodlights down a little bit here. They are a bit bright. Very hard to see out the window. Holy crap. Let's see. Can we see these signs? Almost. That's an Alpha there. Just going to take it nice and steady whilst we're still on the apron here. We can actually go ahead and turn the transponder on. And then we're going to continue all the way down to the end here. And then take the last right turn on Bravo 10. In fact, we'll take... it looks like Bravo 10 is quite a sharp angle, so we'll go Bravo 9 instead, actually. Look at the lighting, though. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll do our taxi checks. So we'll do a flight controls check initially. So coming down here, flight controls, ailerons left and right. Cannot see anything there. And back to neutral. Elevator full up, full down, and back to neutral. Just making sure I don't miss my turning here. Let's see, is that... oh god, I can't see the signs at all. That's Bravo 10. Oh dear. Wave goodbye to Bravo 10. Oh no, there's a fence. Oh. Oopsie daisies. Wow, we got there quickly. We got there very quickly, didn't we, chats? Oh dear, oh dear. We should have enough room to turn around here, I think. We only just came past it. There we go, look at that, like a glove. And the angle on the turn here is nowhere near as sharp as what I thought it would be. Well, it is now because I made it that way, but it's nowhere near as sharp as what I thought it would be because of the how it looked on the charts. Turn those wipers off as well now. Right. Flight controls check we'll continue with. So we'll disconnect the rudder. So full right on the rudder and full left. Back to neutral. So that is the flight controls check complete. Flap setting is config 1 plus F. Radar and predictive wind shear are on and auto. Engine mode selector is normal, and ECAM memo is takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Guys, I'll catch up with the chat messages once we actually get underway here, because I'm well aware I've spent forever waffling on here. Ready for a phone number? Yes, I am. Oh dear, oh dear. So we're going to go Alpha 11, runway 34. Wellington traffic, New Zealand 609, lining up via Alpha 11, runway 34, Wellington traffic. Okay, let's get the TCAS on as we enter the runway. Lineup checklist, takeoff runway is 34. That is confirmed. Look at this sort of puddling on the runway as well. Very, very nice. TCAS is TARA, packs 1 and 2 are on. And that is the lineup checklist complete. Okay, we'll just set the parking brake for a second there. Let's just have a quick browse. Look at this, chat. Absolutely beautiful. Let's pretend we've been clear for takeoff now. We'll turn the landing lights on. And the strobe lights on as well. There they are. Lovely stuff. Alright then, chat. Are we ready to go? Let's go. Okay, so side stick half forwards. Parking brake's coming off. Throttles up to 50%. We're going to do a toga takeoff, remember. Wellington traffic, New Zealand 609, taking off runway 34. Wellington traffic. Engines are stabilized up to toga. Mantoga SRS runway auto thrust is blue. V1 rotates. Nav positive rates, gear up. Oh wow, it is windy. Okay, lever climb, climb. Auto thrust, thrust climb. Let's get the ground spoilers disarmed. Oh, wow. We're at the S speed, so flaps coming up. Bumpy. AP2. Let's get the nose lights off. I thought I disarmed the ground spoilers. There we go. I always forget to start the chrono though, don't I, chats? All right, there we go. Look at this. Look at this. It is very windy though here. Have they enabled gusts again in Microsoft Flight Simulator? It seems like there's some sort of gusty behavior going on here. Right. So we need to be 250 knots in this turn. So I'm just going to monitor the altitude here. We do have the LDEV showing as well. This is an RNAV departure. So we've got the lateral deviation showing there. I'm going to take this left turn. And if I feel like we're going to come through 10,000 feet, I'm actually just going to pull the speed. In fact, just to be safe, let's pull the speed now. 250 knots in this turn. You can see our current navigational performance is 0.03, so we are still within limits for this departure. It was 0.2 required. Did not mean to do that. Okay, so it was good that I pulled the speed there because we are going to come through 10,000 now. Actually going to set standard as well. So standard, and we'll set standard here as well, if I can find the click spots. There we go. And I'm going to leave these seatbelt signs on until we've cleared this turn, but we'll go ahead and turn the landing lights off. Oh, baby, look at that. Wow. That is a screenshot right there, isn't it, chat? Holy. Wowee. Incredible. Whew. Wow. There's the airport down there. Oh, I've got Ulfdog. Beautiful. You're joining us. Fantastic. Love to see it. Right. Okie doke. So the turn is complete now. We can go ahead and go back to manage speeds. This is actually going to keep us at 250 knots due to the constraint at Larox. Now, that isn't actually on the chart itself, so I'm actually going to go ahead and remove that. And we're going to continue our acceleration to 300 knots for our final climb speeds. We'll go ahead now and turn the seatbelt signs off. All right. Look at that. Holy crap, this simulator. That is just nutty, isn't it? Right then, chats. Let's catch up with some of the messages here. Right. Popeye, hello to yourself in Thailand. I hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Ulfdog said, oh, we're circling Queenztown today. No, we're not actually doing a circling approach into Queenztown. I will show you what approach we're doing once we get a little bit on with the routing here. We're going to do a briefing of the charts as we normally do. There's VDGSs at Faro, but they don't work. Wonder if they will at some point. Maybe. I mean, Flightbeam and iniBuilds and a few, maybe one or two other developers and Aerosoft have enabled the VDGS to work with some of their sceneries, but it is sort of a proprietary thing. So I think it's down on a per developer basis, so we're probably going to be waiting on a Sobo for that. Arctic Turn, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. Lil Pop as well. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing well indeed. Are the liveries free? Yes, they are indeed. Yeah, they are on PC at least. Yeah, I can't understand how people are getting away with charging for liveries on the marketplace. Would you say that you need a pair of Wellingtons? Well, judging by how rainy it was on the departure there, we probably could have done with some Wellingtons, yeah, especially for the walk around. Velux, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Mariner says, I remember when we did the RNAV approach into Queenztown with the NXI. Was amazing. Yes, yeah. That is the approach we're actually going to be doing today. We're going to be doing that today, so it should be pretty interesting. Fly Lilo, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Need terrain radar off, be burning the ground cruise brain out. Terrain radar is not actually a radar as such. The terrain radar is actually just a... This is just taking information from an internal database in the aircraft. It's not actually a radar as such. It doesn't scan the ground or anything like that. It's basically just an internal database. So it's not actually using the radome at the front of the aircraft to actually draw the picture here for the terrain on the ND. So, thankfully, we won't be burning the ground crews brains out. That's why I turned it on at the stand, you see. Is transition height when you change from the barometer to standard? Yes, it is, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's called the transition altitude when you're on a departure, when you're climbing, and then it's called a transition level when you are on a arrival. Spectacular Flying says, hello, how can you attach a jet bridge to the Phoenix? Don't have the option in the EFB. Well, there's a few ways you can do that. You can actually do it through the EFB. So if you go to the Fenix app and then onto ground services, this only works when you're on the ground, but you can actually see in the top left here, it does say toggle jetway. So you can use that to toggle the jetway, or you can use the in-game ATC as well. So you would tune to the ground frequency and then use the ground services menu to tune the to request the jetway connection. So there's a few ways you can do it. Andy, once again, thank you very much for the gold membership there. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you very much for that kind comment as well. Flight plan, Ulfdog. Sorry, I was a little bit late on that one. But the flight plan is... I can paste that in the chat now. Your gaming mate, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. And Brad, yes, we are on VATSIM today, but there's not really any controllers on in the area due to, well, I mean, it's New Zealand. There's not usually too much coverage in New Zealand, unfortunately, but nevertheless, it is also the night time in New Zealand, so locals are going to be offline. Yeah, no worries at all, Ulfdog. I mean, I'm guessing Microsoft Flight Simulator will probably show you in the wrong livery regardless, but we'll see what happens. I need a lovely stuff emoji. Yes, I've actually noted that down to be one of the next emojis that I make. So yeah, lovely stuff emoji definitely needs to happen, doesn't it? TPX Gaming, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, chat. So today we're actually using the updated New Zealand mesh by Orbx, and I'm already seeing that it actually looks quite good. I mean, we're quite far away now, and I'm not sure if they've done something special, but the scenery definitely looks a little bit more defined from this distance than it normally does, which is quite cool to see. Usually when you're quite far away from scenery, it looks very, very smooth and not that great, but I'm not sure if this is something that they've done or if it's just a satellite imagery, but I'm already seeing some improvements there. They've used a bunch of new data for the terrain, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like once we get into Queenztown, because obviously there's many mountains in that area, so it will be quite cool to see, I think. Right, we're looking good. We are looking good. Bit gusty at takeoff. Yes, it was gusty, wasn't it, Old Dog? Actually, I'm intrigued to see, because I know Asobo, they disabled wind gusts for a while. I'm not sure if they've re-enabled them now, but it did feel a bit more gusty than what it normally does. Very intrigued on that one. Right, so once we get up to cruise here, chat, we'll have a look at our arrival into Queenztown. It's a very interesting arrival, this. So I'm excited to really share that with you. And I know obviously we've covered the approaches into Queenztown quite a few times on the stream. And I know we've covered the approaches into Queenztown, like I say, a few times on the stream. But I've done a bit of reading, and I've found some more charts that Navigraph don't actually supply. So I'm quite happy to sort of share this information with you. You guys might even already know it, but looking forward to getting into that. Sun's coming up nicely here as well. We may get a company message shortly because we were late at departing, so we'll have to look at that. Let's get some charts ready though here before we do the briefing. So, arrival, LVFR 4 Bravo, and then we're going to do the RNAV. It's actually going to be the RNP Zulu. Now, in the real world, this is actually called the RNP Yankee, which is why I was looking for that on the MCDU. But for whatever reason, Navigraph don't supply the chart for that. But like I say, we'll get into that once we get a little bit further underway. Ulfdog, you're getting up to cruise already? Holy crap. I'm not even at cruise yet. Let's see, can I see you behind? Oh, there you are. 13,000 feet, very good. Look at those contrails though, wow. Wow, they're looking super cool, aren't they, those contrails? I rarely go outside and look at the Phoenix when we're flying it, to be honest. So that's new to me, almost, roughly. I don't know if they've updated those, though, recently. They might have done. So we've got FSRealistic on again, chat. I don't know if you guys noticed on the takeoff roll there was some vibrations and stuff. That was quite cool. Quite cool to see. Oh, too steep path ahead. Interesting. Okay, so we've got this again. Okay, there was something... This reminds me, actually. There was something that I wanted to brief with you guys as well with regards to... too steep path here. Okay. Okay, the altitude constraints are actually incorrect there. I'm going to have to amend those. Right, I'm actually going to amend them now. So, at kill plus 10,000, that's correct. There isn't a speed constraint there, though. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to adjust a few things here. So we'll remove that. So that's at kill 10,000 or above. That's correct. 780, 8,600 or above. That's correct. 775 is 8,600 or above. And again, chat, we'll go through all of this detail once we, once I've done this, basically. Alt cruise, we're at our cruising flight level now. Beautiful stuff. So plus 8,600 there. Now QN 770 is 7,500 or above. So we'll put that in here. At VUP is 6,700 or above. And then 760 is 5,100 or above. $755, 4,200 or above. That is almost correct there, but we're going to put in a plus 4,200 there. That's good. And then the final approach fix Larav, which is a required altitude of 3,300. So that should be in there correctly, I guess. 3,300 required altitude. That's all perfect. Okay, great stuff. Let's insert that. Now, hopefully it should get rid of that too steep path ahead message, which it has. Unless it just needs to do some recalculation. We'll see what it does. Right. Okay, so we've got about 120 miles to our top of descent. Let's go ahead and brief the arrival then. Right, all right. So let's have a look. So we're going to be flying into Queenztown, New Zealand. This is Queenztown, New Zealand. This is an RNAV star, and it's a 10-2 Alpha. November Zulu Quebec. November is the ICAO code. And we're going to be flying the LRUV 4 Bravo RNAV arrival into for runway 23. Airport elevation at Queenztown, 1,171 feet, and the transition level is fixed at flight level 150. We do require RNP 1. And terrain, aerodrome is surrounded by mountainous terrain. As you can see on the charts here, lots of mountains. So, this is going to take us in from LRUV on the 217 track for 7 miles. Minimum altitude 8,600 for that leg to Pampu. We do have a restriction at Pampu above flight level 150, but that is by ATC. And then from Pampu, we're going to come to Ekvox, which is a minimum altitude of 10,000 feet. Again, by ATC. That's an 18-mile leg there on the same track. We're going to take a slight right turn then to Atkil, which is on the 232 track. And Atkil is the initial approach fix for this arrival. So, you can see the MSA is drawn on here as well, based on the ARP beacon. 11,400 and 10,000 in this sector here. Right, okay, so let's have a look at the arrival. Now, this is where things get a bit interesting. So this is the RNAV RNP Zulu into runway 23. Now, you'll notice here this is Cat B. Now, this is what threw me off previously when we've flown into Queenztown. Hang on a sec, guys. I've just got to show you this. Look at that. Look at the terrain down there. Is that an Orbx? Is Orbx doing some good stuff there? Because that looks exceptionally good from this altitude. That looks super, super nice. Right, anyway, continuing on with the briefing. So this is where things confused me last time coming into Queenztown, because this is a Cat B approach, and if you look down here at the minimums, we only have minimums for Category B aircraft. Now, the Airbus A320 is actually a Category C aircraft, and you can see there's no minimums given here for Category C or D, or even A, in fact. So when I've looked at this chart before, I was like, well, we can't fly this. This is not for our category of aircraft. However, doing some digging and watching a bit of Black Box 711, I've actually found on the on the New Zealand AIP website, there is basically the same approach, but if we zoom in here, you can see this is the RNAV Yankee approach, and it's for Category C and D aircraft. So this is actually for our aircraft. It says do not use for navigation here. I'm not sure what that is alluding to be quite honest, but nevertheless, this is off the AIP website for New Zealand. So this is information that is given to pilots in the real world. Now, the approach itself... The approach itself, it is exactly the same as per the Navigraph chart. So if we come back here, you can see the approach is exactly the same path and the exact same fixes. And in fact, all of the exact same restrictions are on there as well. So we'll actually brief it using the Navigraph chart because it is a bit clearer. But the only difference really is the minimums down here. So you can see here we've got the minimums and we've got the different categories of navigational performance. We'll be using the lowest one here, RNP 0.15, because we can easily do that here in the Airbus, provided we don't have any degradation on our equipment. And you can see the minimum there of 1,875 feet. So that is different to this one. You can see here 2,709 feet, RNP 3.3 on that one. So we can use slightly lower minima because we can have higher navigational performance in this aircraft. However, we'll carry on with the briefing anyway on this chart because it's exactly the same apart from the minimum. So let's have a look. So we're going to come in then at Atkil. This is the initial approach fix. Minimum 10,000 feet here at Atkil. Then we're going to take the 233 track for 4 miles to QN 780. Then this is where it starts to get interesting. So this curved leg here is... hang on, what's happened with my pen? Come back. There we are. So this is where it gets interesting. So you can see you've got this these curved paths here. Now this is what's called a radius to fix leg. And yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how well the aircraft flies these legs, because these are all curved RF legs coming in here. So from QN 780, we're going to go 4 miles, minimum 8,600 to QN 775. We're then going to continue to the left for 4 miles to Quebec November 770, minimum 7,500 feet. So these are the restrictions I was just altering in the MCDU. You just saw me do those a minute ago. Then we do have one straight leg here, which is between Quebec November 770 to Atvup, minimum 7,500 there and minimum 6,700 there. That's on the 152 track for 3 miles. Then we've got a big left turn for 5 miles. 5,100 is the minimum altitude for that leg, coming in at Quebec November 760. Then we've got a further right turn here. 4,200 feet minimum for this leg, coming in to Quebec November 755. And then one final straight leg here on the 278 track for 3 miles, minimum 3,300 feet, coming into Larav. As you can see, this whole route here takes us very, very close into this terrain and right through this valley here at the bottom. And the terrain is very close on both sides. And then coming into Larav, this is our final approach point. You can see here on the profile view, final approach point at Larav. This is all going to be flown in final app mode. So the aircraft's going to descend and do the lateral guidance on its own for us. But it's not. We're not going to use VNAV or manage descent. We're going to use final app mode for that, and it should be pretty cool to see. So at Larav, we're going to come in. This is this whole descent is 3.2 degrees, so slightly higher than standard. Required altitude at Larav is 3,300 feet. And we're going to descend on, like I say, 3.2 degrees. And you can see here we've got various different fixes to check our altitude at. Now, initially from Larav to Quebec November 745 is a left turn. And then coming in here at 2,650 feet. We're then going to continue straight, 234 track to Quebec November 741. Then we've got another slight left turn arc into Quebec November 735. Then the 228 track to Quebec November 731. And then a slight right turn to Quebec November 725. And then the 234 track onto the runway. So that, as you can see, takes us down like this. Some very, very slight turns in the middle there. And down onto the runway. Right. We didn't need to really brief this stuff at the top here because it is all quite varied. However, final approach course on the very, very short final is 234 degrees. Airport elevation and touchdown zone elevation are the same at 1,171 feet. The MSA, based on the ARP beacon, is 11,400 feet. And 10,000 within 15 nautical miles. This ring is indicating 25. So the missed approach procedure is climb to 10,000 feet via the RNAV RNP missed approach track to November Victor. Hold Sungu at 10,000 feet. If your RNP required navigational performance is less than 1 mile, RNP less than 1 mile required in the missed approach. So we need to have that, which we should do. Right. Now, this is for operators with the correct approval only, and all this other information is surrounded by mountainous terrain, RF required, which we already know, and then we've got a caution for VFR aircraft operating without reference to ATC, basically in these blue marked zones here. That's not really going to affect us on this flight, though. Approach not authorized when airport temperature below -10, which it's not, so that should be fine for us. And then operator speed restrictions may apply. PAPI in use at night only. That's again not going to affect us. They're always on in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this is the missed approach here. You can see it is drawn out here. We've got some restrictions on there, so I'm going to just check them in the MCDU as well. But the missed approach there is quite a curvy one, just leading us over the lake here and up into this valley at the bottom here. And then you can see it carries on as well from here. All the way up to Sungu, which will enter the holding there if we need to. which hopefully we won't need to go around. We have done a go around here at Queenztown before. And then the minimums is going to be, like we said earlier on, 1,875 feet. Right. And then the taxi-in is going to be fairly straightforward. In Queenztown, we're basically just going to come in, runway 23, and then we'll basically just roll out and come off at Alpha 3. And then taxi at our discretion to the main terminal. Fairly straightforward for the taxi there, very small airport. And we can only actually use these two taxiways for this size of aircraft. The other taxiways are too small. Right. Okay, so let's make sure that missed approach is in properly. So we've got QN727 cab app at or above 3,200. Nolov at or above 4,000, which is in there. Rucksack below 9,000. 737 after that. And then 878. 882. And then to Sungu, which is going to be a flyover. And there should be a hold there as well. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, and the holding in there as well. Great stuff. Okay, fantastic. At least I think that's the holding in there anyway. Right, only 25 miles to go to our top of descent. Let's go ahead and do a landing performance calculation. And we could do with putting the weather information into the MCDU as well. So Queenztown runway 23. Runway, we don't know the condition actually. Let's get a METAR. In fact, we can't get a METAR, can we? Because it's Queenztown. So what we would need to do... Wow, look at this. Very, very nice. So what we can do is we can actually use the VATSIM page, the New Zealand VATSIM page for the weather. This was at 1700 Zulu, so an hour and 20 minutes ago. So it's not been updated too recently, but that's the best we're going to get, I think. We could also just double check, see if there is one, but I don't think there will be. There is not. All right, so let's use this weather info for... In fact, let's have a look. So it has been raining apparently, so we'll put good medium. It doesn't say anything about the condition of the runway, but we'll go ahead and put good medium. Right, so no metadata available. We'll use what we've got, which is going to be 030 at 04 knots. Temperature is 1 degree. And the QNH 970 hectopascals. Do I need to put a 0 in first? 0970. Right. Landing weights. So fuel on board is going to be 3.7. So we're going to lose 0.4. So it's going to be 63 tons for the landing weight. Need to put a 0 in. There we go. Lovely stuff. Okay, so we definitely can't use low auto brake. Look at that. Medium auto brake's not going to work for us either. So it's going to have to be... Oh, max manual's not even working either. Okay. This is a problem. Should we use the other runway? We probably should, shouldn't we? That's just about going to work for us. Yeah, we should be using the other runway, really, shouldn't we? Right, we're going to have to amend some stuff then. Butter, thank you very much for the subscription. Thank you very much, dude. I'm not sure why the alerts aren't playing. I really don't get that. Right, we're going to start down anyway. Yeah, we should use the other runway, so I'm going to have to rebrief. I'm going to have to rebrief. But nevertheless, let's have a look. I'll see if I can get my alerts working as well. Right, if I press... Yeah, I don't know why that alert didn't play. Very strange. Right. Okay. Yeah, so I guess SimBrief was using the... SimBrief was using that super old meta, wasn't it? So we're going to just change things up a little bit here. Fortunately, I have done these approaches before, so it shouldn't be too difficult to do. So we're going to go for the RNAV Yankee for runway 05. RNAV Yankee 05. That's going to be the LRUV 2 Alpha. And that's going to be via Ibabu. Right. Okay, we've gone back to Mac. We're still in DES. Now, the aircraft is just going to shallow its rate of descent now. Let's put us back in climb thrust. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that. It's because we've basically added all that extra track mileage to our route, so it's actually going to just slow its rate of descent now until it recaptures the vertical profile. So if we go progress, you can see we're 3,600 feet underneath the profile. So we'll just let it do a very, very shallow descent there while it recaptures the profile. And we're going to amend some of these figures anyway, so it may just be that things change here anyway. Right, so let me just make sure I've got all this in correctly, and then I'll very quickly run through the rebriefing with you guys again, because my voice is starting to hurt, I can't lie, so I want to kind of just make sure we're not chatting for ages here. Right. Let's just request the wind data as well, which we've not done yet. So, oh, okay, we can't request it. Okay, I don't think that's going to prove a massive issue for us. Let's carry on and make sure everything's in correctly. So, Kaslu between 160 and 170, check that. Mabga is above flight level 130, which is in there. Gosper is above flight level 120, which is in there, or 12,000 in fact. Ibabu 10,000 and 12,000. So I'll put between 10,000 and 12,000 there. Oh, I've done that wrongly. Stick that in there. Okay. Yeah, I've completely forgotten the notation for that one. I could have sworn it was like this. We'll just put plus 10,000. Because this is plus 12,000 anyway. In fact, we'll just insert that and see what it does. Yeah, so we're going to be at 11,000 feet at a Babu. Right, so QN 577 is above 10,000. That's correct. 573 is above 9,200. 573 plus 9,200. I can't believe I'm having to do this again, chat. 571 is above 8,000. 8,200. 569 is above 7,100. 565 is above 6,300. And then Mopka 5,500 or above. And then Obumbo, which is the final approach fix, or final approach point. 3,100 required altitude. That's in there. That's all correct. And then just going to quickly scan the go around as well. Okay, that all looks good. Only one restriction on the go around on this one. There are some speed constraints, so let's just make sure that's in 552. .552 is not in there. 547, and then it goes 551. Okay, that's not making sense to me. Let's have a look. Plan view. Okay, that does look correct though. Oh no, that is correct. Yep, that is correct. It's just slightly different. The chart's slightly different to the Navigraph one on this approach. So 553 at or above 6,000, that's fine. 557, 175 knots max, that's fine. Right, okay, so that's all correct. Let's insert that. Right, okay, cool. Cool. Also just wondering when we're actually going to intercept our vertical path here, because we seem to be not intercepting it. I don't see an intercept marker on here anywhere. Interesting. All right. We are catching it though, so we'll just leave it as it is for now. Right, let's see how we're looking. Beautiful. Ho, 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 baby. Very nice. Right, so our landing performance is basically saying max manual braking is required for this weather. Now, the weather might be different once we get there, to be honest. But we're just going to have to go with what we've got. I don't know anywhere else to get a good METAR. We can't get an ATIS just yet anyway. We're too far away. So, we're just going to have to roll with it. So, we'll go to our perf page anyway. And we'll put in our information. So, 970 and 0304. Temperature of 1 degree. And then our barometric minimums is going to be 1438. And we can also just check our progress page to look at our navigational accuracy, which is at 0.03. So we can still use those minima. So that's good. And look at that. We've caught the vertical profile up now. There we go. Beautiful stuff. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So let's just check the go-around information here. That all looks good. Right, we got there in the end, chat. We got there in the end. Okay, we can kind of relax a little bit here. Let's see if we can speak to Queenztown. No, not yet. Manacle, welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fly Lilo as well. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. Beautiful views indeed, Ulf Dog. Yes, very, very nice indeed. Ulftog, you don't have any choices for approach. Yeah, I think the default nav data is very much lacking for Queenztown, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the default is pretty poor. Right, so... Did not mean to do that. Always do that by mistake. We do have another company message. Let's just check that real quick before we go through the briefing again. So, delay for 40 minutes. Let's do that. So, let's go for other again. And it was for 40 minutes. Let's just put with, let's just put waffling again. And we'll send that to the company. Right then. Okie dokie then. Look at this though, chat. Wow. Oh, baby. Pretty amazing is this, isn't it? Right. Okie dokie then, chat. So we've still got a ways to go for the descent. Hang on, we've got another company message. ADC received. Right, thank you. Okie doke. So let's have a look then at the briefing once again. Okay then, chat. So we've changed things slightly because we're doing a different runway now. We're going to do the LRUV 2 Alpha. Transition flight level is still the same. So that's all okay. Did not actually put that on the perf page. Just adjusting that in the background. So, Elruv to Alpha, from Elruv to Eggvox 217 track for 21 miles, 25 miles, sorry. Oops. Right, there we go. Right. Then from Eggvox to Kaslu, 19 miles, 228 track. Kaslu has got restriction between flight level 160 and 170. 249 track to Mabga, 7 miles above 13,000. 4 miles to Gosper on the same track, 12,000 or above. Left turn 219 track to Avga, 8 miles, and then 4 miles to Ibabu between flight levels 10,000 and 12,000. Then from Ibabu, we are going to transition on to the RNP Yankee approach. So I'm not actually going to brief using this chart because this one does have some slight differences to the real world chart. This is the RNP Zulu, as same thing applies as what we looked at for the other runway. This is a category B. However, we want to use the RNAV Yankee, which is for category C and D aircraft. There we go. So category C and D here. This is the RNAV Yankee for runway 05. Right, so threshold elevation is the same as... Sorry, threshold elevation is slightly lower than the elevation of the airport. So there's a slight slope on the runway. So 1160 is the threshold elevation for runway 05. So then, we are going to be coming in at Ibabu, which is the initial approach fix. We're going to fly the 220 track to Quebec, November 577. Minimum 10,000 feet there. I'm going to zoom in on this a bit here so you can see it a bit better. Minimum 10,000 feet. And then we're going to do a arc to the left for 8 miles to Quebec, November 573. Minimum altitude there is 9,200 feet. And then we are going to join on to the... oh, it does actually say glide path 3.2 here, so that's interesting. I wonder if we can use final app from here then. Interesting. 3.2 glide path angle prior to final approach segment applicable to Airbus only. Right, okay, so that does apply to us. Okay, so from QN 573 we will use final app. And I don't know if that's the best thing to do, really, because we've got a at or above restriction here at 9,200. So unless we can change that, let's just jump back over real quick and see if we can amend that. It might mess things up here, so let's see. So 573, 9,200. We are actually going to be at 9,200 there. If we put this to a fixed altitude... Let's see if it spits anything out at us. Okay, that does look good. So we'll try use final app from that point. That'd be quite interesting to see how well it copes with that. So from 573, we're going to final app. So that means it's going to follow the 3.2 degree glide path from that point. Now, we're going to take a left turn for 3 miles to Quebec, November 571, and we should be at 8,200 at that point. Then another left turn for 3 miles to Quebec, November 569, and then the 038 track to Quebec, number 565, 6,300 feet there. And then to Mopka for 2 miles, 5,500 feet there, and then a 7 mile... I can't get used to this. And then the 0.38 track still for 7 miles, 3.2 degrees down to Obumbo, which is required altitude of 3,100 feet. This is the final approach fix. And then we can look at the plan view here for the final part of the approach. So Obumbo, 3,100 feet, 3.2 degrees down on the 038 track initially. Down to Quebec, November 555, 2,412 feet is the required altitude there. Then we're going to take a... It doesn't actually say what this is here, whether it's a left turn or a right turn. Yeah, so you can see here there is a left turn and then a right turn. It doesn't actually give the detail on that on this. On this plan view, this sort of profile view, but nevertheless there is going to be a left turn and then a right turn. 2,025 feet at Quebec November 550, and then Quebec November 545, 1,470 feet. And then on the 054 track to the missed approach point, and then onto runway 05. Minimums is going to be 1,438. Then the missed approach procedure is outlined here. We're going to initially go straight ahead, then take a left turn. Quebec November 551, left turn. Quebec November 553, at or above 6,000 feet. And then another left turn, 4 miles, max speed 175 knots, which is set in the MCDU. And then a right turn over the airfield to Quebec November 560. And then following that outbound here on the 160 track to Turney, at or below 9,000 feet. And then 160 track 9.5 miles out to Quebec November 878. And then another right turn to Quebec November 882. And then the 182 track to Sungu, which is where we're going to hold at if required. So that is the new approach we're going to be doing. As I said, we've changed things up a little bit here because of the runway change, but nevertheless, that is the one we're going to be doing now. 1438 on the minimums. I think I need to change that. And look at this. Absolutely brilliant. We get some hot drinks served up in the cabin. And we're about to pass through the transition altitude, so I'm going to go ahead and push this. And we're going to set the QNH, which should be set to 970 now. Let's see if this matches the sim. I'm actually going to just press... Oh, no. No. We'll set 970 initially, and then once we get below the transition altitude, we'll see if the sim... We'll see what the sim's saying. Right. Apparently it thinks we're not below the transition altitude yet, which we are, but nevertheless, we'll see how it does there. We've also dropped a little bit below the profile due to the change in QNH, but that's no issue for us. I'm not going to set an auto brake because we're going to use max manual. Look at this, though. The New Zealand mesh for the Orbx New Zealand mesh does look better. I do have to say, it does look a lot better with this update. The airfield is just down there. Where is it? Just there. So we might be able to get the ATIS now. Let's see. There it is. Okay, no ATIS. Never mind. We carry on. Right. Okay, so approach checklist then. So bar F is set to 970, set both sides. Seatbelt signs, we can go ahead and turn them on now. Minimums 1438 is set. Auto brake is not required. We're going to use max manual, and engine mode selector is in norm. Approach checklist complete. Right, here we go, chat. So I actually prefer this approach to the other side because this is far more scenic. Wow, look at this. This is some serious conditions. No cloud over the airport, though. Plenty of cloud coming in over the lake here, though. So we're going to be passing through some cloud as we come in here. We're actually going to come over this way, across here, through these clouds, down over the lake, and then into runway 05. Right, so we can go ahead and set our altitude selector a bit lower now. We'll set it to 9,200. Which we're going to reach at Quebec November 571, which is a bit late, actually. 571. We want to be there at 573, which is there. Okay, interesting. Interesting indeed. I think what I'm going to do, chats... There we go. We've got a speed change there. So we've got 170 knots at Quebec November 573, which isn't actually on the charts. But it could be advisable. Let's see what happens if we clear that out. There we go, that's better. I'm happy with 220 knots, to be honest. Right, we're going to come through 10,000 feet. Let's get the landing lights on. And the runway turn-off lights on. IniBuild's just announced that A310 will be free for all users in Microsoft Flight Simulator. What? No way, that is insane. That's crazy, man. I'm gonna have to check Discord. Right, here we go, chats. This is the exciting part of the approach. Right. Okay. I see the development update. We'll have a look at it once we get on the ground here, because I've got to focus up for a minute. Right. So Quebec number 573. We are going to use final app mode from that point. Oh, the camera's messed up on me. It did this last time with FSRealistic on. Right. There we go. Right. Let's arm approach. So we've got app nav and final armed. Sorry, we've got app nav and final is armed, should I say? I'm going to press Z on the keyboard, make sure the Q and H actually matches. So we're a bit higher than expected. I'm going to add a bit of speed brake in and see if we can actually... Sorry, we're a bit lower than expected, so that's fine. Right, okay, that's actually worked in our favour a little bit there. This is pretty insane, isn't it, chat? Mesh is looking good. The mountains definitely look a bit sharper, I do have to say. Right, I've got a monitor now. I've got a monitor. Alt star. We've got Des and final is armed. Final should activate when we come in here. Yep. No. Okay, we've got Des. So it's descending below the pre-selected altitude, which is interesting. App nav. Okay, let's let it do its thing. Go around altitude will set to 10,000. We'll come in and activate the approach phase now. Final app. Beautiful. Okie dokie. So we'll go to the progress page. We'll go NZQN. Probably should have done this earlier here. 05. We'll stick that in there. Just for reference also, I'm just going to go in here, just go and quickly do a fix info. And we're going to stick in ARP radius of 2.5. And then we're going to do another one, ARP at 15, because we've got two different MSAs here. We're looking good. Bring up the progress page once again. Required accuracy is all good. We need 0.3. We've got 0.03. You notice the required accuracy has changed now that we're doing this approach. 14 miles to go. We're looking good on speed. I'm going to go ahead and go to flaps 1 just a little bit preemptively here. So speed is checked. Flap set to 1. This is an insane approach. Absolutely love this. We'll make sure the cabin crew is seated for once this time. Now, what's the temperature? 3 degrees. We do have some visible moisture. Let's go ahead and get the engine anti-ice on. It is flying this like an absolute champ, though. I do have to say, hats off to Fenix for getting this working so well. This is just brilliant. Right. 9.8 miles to go. Speed is not coming back, really, so I'm going to drop the gear. There we go, speed's coming back nicely now. 7.6 miles. We're going to go to flaps 2, so speed is checked. Flaps coming to 2. Okay, we're slowing down now. Wow, look at this. We've got a bit of ice on the lake here as well. Pretty amazing. Right, we're through the crowds now. We'll turn the anti-ice off. We haven't anticipated for that for landing, so we're going to turn that off. Check that out though, chat. That is insane. Seats for landing, please. That's got to be one of the best views I've ever seen in this sim, I can't lie. Right. Spoilers are armed. We've got flaps 2, we'll go to flaps 3 now. Oh, replay mode. Sky Dolly, come on, let's do it. Right, 3.7 miles to go. Let's go to flaps full now. Look at that, that is incredible.
$1,000.
1,000 feet is checked. We are stabilized and on path. Right, cabin crew is seated this time. Thank Book for that. Aircraft's flying this all on its own, by the way, guys. Check this out. It's so, so cool. Gotta love those. Gotta love that navigation that Phoenix have put in this thing. Let's disconnect. Flight director's off. We are a bit low according to the Pappies.
500.
500 feet is checked. We've got winds 265 at 2.
100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Oh, we've bounced.
5.
There we go. We are down. Max manual braking. Full reverse. Okay. There we go. Oh dear, that wasn't butter, was it, chat? I'm quite disappointed with that. I did not pay attention to my landing, my descent rate at all there. Whew. Oh, and I didn't record the replay either, of course, chat. Of course. God damn. I just want to do a good landing at Queenztown. That's all I want, chat. That's all I want in this world. Are we off the runway? We are. Okay, it's all gone wrong now, chat. It's all gone wrong. Oh, my lord. Let's see if there's Old Dog on his way in as well. Can we see him? No. Okay then, chat. I mean, that was an excellent approach, I won't lie. That I flew that pretty excellently, if I do say so myself. But other than that, the landing was probably not anything to write home about, really. And we did have quite a heavy bounce there as well. But we nevertheless, we held the attitude whilst we were in the bounce, and we landed and touched down again. I'm pretty sure we were just within the touchdown zone, so that was okay, I think. And we were right on centerline, I think, if I remember correctly as well. Yeah, I should have... I was focusing too much on the touchdown zone out the window. I forgot to check my vertical speed coming in there. And I forgot to look at the end of the runway as well. God damn it. Oh, where's the snow just come from? Oh dear. I just want to... We've landed at Queenstown so many times, chat, and it's ended so poorly. Right, okay, anyway, we'll get the landing lights off now. Nose light to taxi. Turn the runway turn off lights off and the strobe lights off as we're just about to exit the runway. I think my excuse for that one, chat, my excuse is that we had to change runways at last minute. That's my excuse. Oh, there we go. The snow's gone again. That's my excuse, chat, and I'm sticking with it. Right. We can start the APU. And we'll come in here to stand 5. Taxi light is off. Oh, we have a marshaller. Love to see it. That's a rare occurrence. All right, there we go. Parking brake sets. APU is available. We'll go ahead and turn off both engines. Beacon light can come off as well as the seatbelt signs. We don't need to use the APU bleeds. We'll commence deboarding. Let's see, is it going to do this automatically for me? GPU chocks. We'll get the stairs and the left doors open as well. Great stuff. Let's see how well he parked us. Pretty well, actually. We're a little bit in front of the line. So we're a little bit behind the line we wanted, but not the worst. And we're pretty straight, actually. Can't complain too much about that, I don't think. Right. External power, we'll get that on. We'll get the fuel pumps off now. And we might as well turn the APU off. We don't really need that on at stand now. We've got the external power. We do have a company message. Let's just check that before we close things out here. Arrival message, 2100 Zulu, so we're a bit late. Right. Okay, let's see what self-loading cargo is saying. They're not too happy, are they? Not too happy at all. Rough landing. I'm intrigued to see what my my vertical speed was there on short final, because yeah, I really should have paid more attention to that. Right. Look at this view, though. This is epic. I love coming here. We might do... I think I want to do a Madeira revisited, chat. I want to do a Madeira revisited, and I want to do a Queenztown revisited. Wolfdog says he's coming in. I can't see his name tag. Oh, there he is. Beautiful. Right. William Bristol says, could I get permission to post the development update link? We'll have a look at that now in a second, William. Clem, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. We're not doing the return leg today, no. Manacle says, this bird does not seem easy to land. Yeah, I mean, it definitely requires some practice, and it is a bit different to the Neo, that's for sure. It does feel a little bit different to that. But I think that was just my bad, really. I just wasn't focusing enough on the actual descent rate. I was focusing too much on my... I was focusing too much on getting the touchdown zone and the center line, and I just completely forgot to look at my descent rate. So, I mean, I don't think it was the end of the world. I mean, 500 feet per minute is still, you know, it is pretty rough, but it's not gonna... I don't think it's going to really affect your aircraft in terms of requiring any service work on it or anything like that, I don't think. Here comes Wolfdog. We'll have a look at the landing report on SimToolkitPro in a second as well. He's looking good. Maybe, yeah, looking not too bad actually. No landing gear though. That's probably just a sim issue. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Right on the touchdown zone markers. Very nicely done. Much better than mine, I do have to say. Right then, chat. So let's have a look at the landing report, and then we are going to look at the update from iniBuilds. This is an iniBuild scenery, by the way, for New Zealand, Queenztown. So let's have a look. So, as you can see, I'm not sure what the centerline deviation is saying here. It seems to have thought that we wanted that runway, but anyway. As you can see, centerline was bang on. Touchdown zone was bang on. I was even a bit too early, to be quite honest. So I definitely could have flared a bit earlier and a bit more than I did. As you can see, right before the aiming point here. So very, very safe landing, I will say. We did bounce, though, and we probably touched down somewhere around here, which is basically the end of the touchdown zone, but we nevertheless we managed it, and it wasn't too bad. I wish I had a landing rate for the bounce though. Our speed was a bit higher, 138 knots, hence the bounce, and the vertical speed minus 562 feet per minute and 1.13 G. So not the best, but not the worst in the world, to be quite honest with you. Touchdown zone and centerline, I'll take that. Honestly, I'm going to take that. And then we can have a quick look at Volanta as well. It'd be quite interesting to see the curves that it flew. So as you can see, it flew that approach very, very nicely with those nice curves there and into here. Oh, we've got the bounce feet per minute here as well. 164 feet per minute after the bounce. So I'll take that. And that was just after Taxiway Charlie. So I think that was actually a bit late. Yes, so we actually touched down from the bounce somewhere around here, actually. So just outside the touchdown zone, but nevertheless, I think that's not the end of the world. 132 knots there as well, so we didn't even lose much speed there. But nevertheless, that was that. Not, I mean, definitely not the best landing in the world, but certainly could have been better in quite a few ways. Very happy with how it flew all this, though. That was very nicely done. And like I say, my excuse, I'm going to blame the fact we had to change runways. Right, okay then. So finally, let's have a look at the development update by iniBuilds here. So basically, they've obviously posted a development update here with regards to their A310. The A310 is basically a shorter version of the A300, very popular cargo aircraft, still in use today. A310 not so much so, but the A310 is essentially a longer range variant of the A300, so it's a bit stubbier, a bit shorter, but nevertheless an absolutely beautiful looking aircraft and a beautiful looking flight deck as well. So let's have a look. Let's see. If you want to read this as well, by the way, guys, chat, I'm going to stick this in the chat for you. Right, let's have a look. So, we are pleased to announce our long-term partnership with Microsoft Flight Simulator in developing this complex immersive aircraft for the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform. Interesting, so they're a partner with Microsoft. iniBuilds has long been a leading aircraft creator within the industry for many years, and we're pleased to partner with the Microsoft Flight Simulator team. Very good. All right, let's have a look at this screenshot. Look at that. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. This is Phoenix level stuff here. Maybe even better. Look at the detail around the elevator here, the horizontal stabilizer. Very, very nice. Look at that. That is nice, isn't it? Wow. This is looking... Yeah. This is next level. You can expect excellent audible experience, dynamically balanced within a 3D environment, coupled with location-independent audio, as well as the inclusion of audio based on a variety of environmental conditions. We are super lucky to have access to a real-life flying aircraft throughout the development process and have been able to acquire authentic sound recordings from each area of the real aircraft. Completely rewritten code base for Microsoft Flight Simulator. FMS completely rewritten, along with features not previously seen on iniBuilds products. The FMS will allow for full lateral and vertical guidance modes, including RNAV approaches and overlay NDB VRR approaches. Something quite cool about the Airbus A310 and the A300 that the A320 series doesn't have is the fact that you can actually use a Vorlock mode, like in the Boeing, for example. So you can actually follow a radial or an inbound course to a VOR in the autopilot, and it will lock onto it. The A320 series doesn't actually have that. Newly designed EFB. Look at that. That looks impressive, doesn't it? Super slick design. Nice little dirt marks on there. Very nicely modelled. Look at that. That looks so good, doesn't it? Pricing and release. Pricing, I'm extremely honoured to announce that the plane is going to be free. That's insane. And it will be included as part of the 40th anniversary standard edition coming in November 2022. So it's going to be released in November 2022, I guess, at the latest. So 5 months' time. And there was a post on the Wire that Microsoft Flight Simulator made earlier today. One of the biggest reasons for our partnership with Microsoft Flight Simulator, the ability to provide high-quality aircraft simulations to as many people as possible. Look at that, though. Look at the rippling there on the fuselage. That is just insane, guys. That is incredible. So if you guys have never flown any iniBuilds aircrafts in X-Plane, the A300 and the A310 were some of the best aircraft for that simulator. So this is very, very exciting. I can't understate that. How exciting it is to have that plane coming for free. That is just absolutely insane. Wow. Okay, well, a pretty cool note to end on there. That is going to be brilliant. So then, chat, that is going to be it from me for today, I think. So thank you very much for watching. Sorry about the slightly hard landing there. We can actually have a look at our flight report just real quick. We got a D because we were late. We made the passengers nervous by taxiing on the grass. Forgot to notify cabin crew seats for takeoff. Took off while cabin crew, still walking around the cabin. I keep doing that recently. I never used to do that. and then we got a rough landing. So never mind, that's a rip. But there we go, chat. That's going to be it from me for today. So I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Hopefully good FPS like the PMDG. Yeah, hopefully. Shame there's no flight deck screenshots there, but nevertheless. Yeah, it doesn't match the liveries properly, Mike, in multiplayer Ulf Dog. Guys, that's going to be it from me for today anyway. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Next one's probably going to be on Tuesday now, I think. But stay tuned for that and keep up with the socials to know when I'm going to be live. Before I do go... though, let me just see here. Yeah, before I do go, big shout out to the gold and platinum members on the channel. So Andy Ivy, who just subscribed today, thank you very much for that. Mariner, of course, Alistair Knott, Darren Perrett, Adam T, Schutz, and Manacle Airways, of course. Thank you very much for your continued support on the channel, and of course to all of the silver members of the channel as well. Guys, I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thank you very much for watching today. We're going to revisit this approach again at some point and hopefully have a better landing. But I hope you guys can appreciate what went into that today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you very much once again. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.